right, guys, it is time to start Bollocks this evening. And, of course, we are in the
Bozard Ford studio. Whoa.
In stereo, of course we are.
Holy cow.
And I got to tell you about the amazing people at Bozard
Ford.
All right, Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by the Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
All righty. When the Florida heat hits you and it's cooling off a little bit, you need more than just AC. You need a neighborhood, a neighbor you can trust. That's why St. Augustine has turned Powell Heating and Air Conditioning for over 40 years. Locally owned and operated while committed to keeping our community comfortable. Powell's team is there when you need them most. From emergency repairs to energy-saving upgrades, they've got you covered. Stay cool, stay local. Call Powell Heating and Air Conditioning today at 904-794-COOL. That's 904-794-2665. Your comfort is their business. They did our house the other day, and they were fabulous.
Why didn't you read the word cool? They worked hard to get that.
I did that the first time, did I not?
You said
I did.
COOL.
You spelled it out.
You spelt it out. It's cool because the word is cool. They worked hard to have that, and you just spelt it out.
So 904-794-COOL.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. Which, for those of you scoring at home, is 2665. Oh, man.
Yeah,
There's Rebecca when I need her.
They had to fight for that. All right.
Or at least pay for it.
These people will fight for you. I'm talking about Abear Kresge and Associates. For trusted financial guidance with a personal touch, turn to Abear Kresge and Associates CPAs, serving St. Augustine since 1989 with over 125 years of combined.
Sometimes I succeed.
But these wonderful people.
Sometimes I succeed.
But these wonderful people at Solar Stick.
They're even better.
Good people.
Yep. We like that. And they were established in 2006. So they're going on, I'm doing math here, 19 years in business. That's nice because they're a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs. Right here in St. Augustine, Florida. We like that. Stay local. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing, which is a goal today.
That is it. That's what we need. Get that balance right. Get the residentials down and the commercial up. And that makes our world a better place here in St. Johns County. And it's tough to get better. It's tough to get better. All right. We have Wager Wire in the second half.
We do.
Or Bollocks Bets. Going to try that one on for size. I like Lenny came in with Bollocks Bets.
Don't forget the rundown of the rest.
The rundown of what, Russ?
The rest of the sponsors. Did you know?
Oh, I already threw it behind me. Blake, you are on top of things.
Sorry.
I was so excited about getting to the stories. Blake, thank you for getting me back on track. Our other sponsors and shout-outs to Meehan's Irish Pub, 80 Davis Construction, St. Augustine Distillery, Citygate Spirits, A to Z Roofing, Anastasia Diner, Moultrie Creek Diner, Mr. Electric, Brightway Insurance, St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, the St. Anastasia Construction Group, and those guys all, you know what they have in common? They're all good people.
They're all good people. We only deal with good people. They deal with us. 746. We like good people.
All right. I have 2 topics. You have probably 37 topics because you're an overachiever.
I try.
And my 2 topics are Florida natives.
Okay.
You have
Blake, which way am I going?
What'd you put in the title?
East Wing.
East Wing.
Were we saving that for tomorrow?
Not anymore.
Apparently not. Fine with me.
Lenny, before trivia, before the wage war, I wanted you to get a little bit heated today to make sure you're fully amped up for trivia tonight.
And by the way, just for the record, he was winding me up before you even got
That's
here.
what he does.
He was winding me up.
That's what he does.
You know, I try to be a nice guy. I save the empty pretzel container to put our next snacks in so they're easy to get to and they don't go stale. And then he wires me up.
Yeah, that's what he does.
I'm telling you, wound and wound.
And people try and do that to me, and thank goodness I'm on enough Xanax that it doesn't help.
Right, and you notice how short my trigger is, however.
And I'll tell you this, I am a little disappointed. I went all day long. All day long. Blake didn't notice. You didn't notice. No one on the morning show noticed. I cut 4 inches off my beard.
Okay.
It was down to here. You couldn't see this part right here of my neck yesterday.
Oh, so it was hiding your priestly collar.
Yes, you couldn't. And I even drew attention to it this morning with the collar, because if I would have done that with the collar yesterday, no one would have saw it. No one noticed. No one cares. No one cares.
Dad, unfortunately, no one cares about your giblet.
My giblet?
Your giblet?
Is this my giblet? Is that what you're calling a giblet? Like, what the hell's a giblet? I asked you twice. What the hell's a giblet?
Wait, hold on.
What's a giblet?
Weren't you raised on a farm? Like, isn't that like the piece of?
Is that like a giblet?
What's name like underneath a chicken's beak?
On a turkey, it's a waddle.
It's a giblet?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if that's where the giblet comes from for giblet gravy.
Yeah. I don't know either.
I thought it was elsewhere on the bird. But,
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure of.
Yeah.
If we only had a producer director, look up where the giblet is.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, my neck. You couldn't see my neck. My Adam's apple.
Okay.
Which I do have one.
Good to know.
All right. And my other one is Trump versus Putin. And
Round 3.
And your other one is
Football mascots.
football mascots. And then we'll transition. We're going to hold that one
To the end, for wager
for
wire.
the transition.
Yeah.
Because
Like I
we're
said.
professionals here. We're all about the transition.
Right, and I try to sport it up a little bit on Wednesday with our stories so that they wire into wager into wire,
Yeah.
they flow.
Yeah. I got one hair that's poking my lip. So if you guys see me, I'm not picking my nose. I'm just trying to get that one away from my lip. People with beards understand.
So it just reminds me of, I think it might have been in one of the American Pie movies, I think, and the guy was trying to get Mina Savory so to fall for him, and it might have been Chris, whoever was in that movie, and he was younger then, obviously, and I forget who, but it was just cry. Girls love it when a guy cries. I said, well, how am I gonna cry? And it was like, well, just yank out a nose hair.
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it.
I can't forget that. You pull out a nose hair, and they were all in tears.
Instant
Yep.
tears. Instant tears. All right, Blake, which way you want to go? Florida natives.
East Wing.
East Wing, Trump, Putin, and mascots.
Let's go with true Floridians.
All right.
Okay.
Florida natives. All right. So someone said, oh, well, the Seminoles were here first. And I wanted to correct them, but I didn't know who else was here. I knew the Timucuans were here.
Mm-hmm.
The Seminoles were not here unless we shipped them up at Fort Marion. So that's when the Seminoles actually were here. But Seminole tribe, a lot of people think that they were the originals when the Europeans got here, and they were not. They did not. We can leave that one up. They did not get here or form until you heard that right. That's not a national flashback.
No. If it is, we did the same.
Somebody was outside the studio, and it sounded like they were contradicting me. But the Seminole tribe didn't form until the 1700s.
Right.
Okay, and they were kind of a conglomerate.
Right. It was an amalgamation of other tribes.
And it basically meant wild one or runaway. And that's how the Seminoles and runaway slaves and some of those and all of that came together to create the Seminoles and the Muskegee.
Yeah.
But the tribes that were here in the 1500s, and Blake's got the map pulled up right now, where we're at was the Timucuans. All right. The other big one in South Florida that dominated South Florida is the Calusas. And, everybody wonders where the name Ocala came from. There was a small tribe right there.
I've always wondered where that came
and
from.
it's Ocala.
Okay, right. That works.
You have the Appalachie up there. And
Apalachicola.
Apalachicola.
Right.
Getting closer to Alabama, you have the Shatot. And then there's a smattering of different tribes that were in South Florida, but the Calusa basically all of those were
That's bigger
offsprings
territory, yeah.
of the Calusa. Okay. But the two big tribes were the Timucuans in North Florida and the Calusa in South Florida. All right. And I don't know if people understood how many different names come from the different tribes. And like you said, the Apalachicola, Ocala. I mean, all these names in Florida, if they're not associated with a general that it was associated with Florida, sometimes ones that fought in the Seminole Indian War, like a Polk or, sorry, I got the hiccups.
They name a county after him.
Or those guys, Sumter. I mean, those are people of significance that were here. You know, and I just found it very, very interesting because everyone in their thought process thinks, oh, this was the Seminole tribe, and it wasn't at all. So going back, I think it was 8,000 years ago, you know, smaller and tropical, more tropical. Centuries of Florida living changed their manner of living. Invasions of more advanced tribes from the north or the islands changed their skills. The Archaic era was from 7,500 BC to 1,000 BC, meant the development of village life for better food gathering. In the winter months, tribes fished the abundant bays and streams. Can you imagine like what was actually here when we weren't overfishing?
There you go. And how clean the water was. And
then the formative era, which is 1000 BC to 1500 AD, brought farming and pottery.
Okay.
So they're advancing. They got the villages, and commerce with Indians outside of Florida brought copper, iron ore, seeds of maize, in exchange for Florida's freshwater pearls, conch shells, and fish bones. So this was kind of the emeralds and the commerce of the trade. By the Mississippian era, 1000 to 1500 AD, also, the Floridians were divided into many large groupings. The archaic Indians developed spears and dug out canoes. Ceramic pottery filled the warehouse, protecting by large temple and burial mounds. So there's burial mounds throughout the state of Florida. One of the bigger ones is over near Crystal River, I know. About 500 years ago, the native people became known as woodland Indians. In North Florida, they lived two highly organized farming tribes, the Appalachians of Tallahassee Hills and the Timucuans located near Ochilla River. I don't know what that is. And the Atlantic Ocean as far south as Tampa Bay. These people were latecomers to Florida and brought with them farming skills beyond those tribes in the south. So the Timucuans were excellent farmers. The ones in the south were more along the fisherman line. The Timucuans and Appalachians were divided into numerous independent villages with leaders, and inter-tribal dialect developed by traders united the tribes. In the summer, the planting of maize, squash, and beans dominated village life. So this was up here where we're at. And then in the winter, it was deer hunting, turkey, and small game in the forest. Meat was smoked on an open grills and stored in pine needle baskets or clay containers in tribal warehouses. They actually had warehouses.
Storage.
Blake, if you can pull up a typical Timucuan village, it's kind of impressive where they were at and how much advanced they were above a lot of the other tribes.
And this was before the Europeans got here to show them other techniques.
Yes, and this was before they got here. This was in the early 1500s.
So you mentioned as part of their commerce was fish bones that they would import or export to the northern tribes in exchange for, whatever they got. So I said, I'm thinking to myself, all right, maybe they're using that for fertilizer, and they weren't. Because I figured if they're starting to get agricultural, that you use the fish bone.
No, they were using it as gemstones.
No, they were using it for tools and weapons, and primarily constructing artificial islands, but using it for fish hooks.
Oh, okay.
For fish hooks and for weapons, so they would turn the fish bone. That's a little.
All right, got a pick.
shaky.
There you go. So, I mean, that is what a Timucuan village actually looked like, because there was feudal tribes, that rigid feudal system amongst the tribes too. But here's one of the things I found very interesting. I don't think I knew this prior to my reading about the Timucuans. Each Indian was born into a particular occupational status in the village.
Okay.
So if your dad was a fisherman,
You're a fisherman.
you're a fisherman.
Okay.
If your dad was a hunter, you were a hunter. If your dad was a farmer, you were a farmer. And only major crisis altered the predetermined story of the person. So if your dad died and you had to get adopted by someone else, you would become that person too. Warriors and hunters were the most common, but skilled potters, canoe makers were given great status. So there was a status.
There's a hierarchy.
Within the Timucuans also.
And it's sort of like a caste system in a respect that you're born into your occupation and that's it. I wonder if there was an ability to, but I'd rather be a farmer, Dad. I don't want to be a fisherman.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work like that.
Yeah, well,
it wasn't going to work like that. So, I just found it very interesting because these are our true Americans, true Florida men. And I wanted to find out a little bit more about it, and because I think I was watching OMG Wicks and like, are you a true Floridian? And I wanted to go, well, no one is.
Right.
No one is, Wicks.
Right. And he is one funny man.
He does a great job. I love his content.
I'd love him to come in and play in St. Augustine. He got as far as close as Tampa recently.
Yeah.
But I'd love him to bring a show up here.
So.
And when you looked at the Timucuan village, it reminded me of the original layout for Fort Mose. Circle, fence around it, everybody inside a fence line, all protected in there. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing, because I think they finished the reconstruction there. So we've got friends coming to town in January.
At Fort Mose?
Yeah. I think they finished it. It took a while. I was there before they started the construction, and then they did it. So we're going to bring friends there. I think we're going to take a picnic there and show them Fort Mose, which I still think was just a brilliant move by the Spanish.
All right.
Yeah, we'll give you your freedom. Just stand between us and the British.
All right. I just got confirmed on November 18th on the Bollock Show. One of our sponsors is calling me. On the Bollock Show, we have Irving Cass coming in.
You know what? That's wonderful. As I was putting the Bollock's glasses away from our whiskey reveal, I was looking longingly at those Bin 39 glasses that were in there.
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So it's a real thing. All right. Other topics we have. Are we done with the Native Americans? Because that's pretty much what I had.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
No, it was interesting.
I wanted to share.
Well, that and the fact that if you look at Seminoles, they're very mixed race. And a lot of that was because, they brought in, they accommodated or accepted freed slaves or runaway slaves and other, tribes.
So, and that's, I think people thought that they were here a lot longer than what they were. So
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to the origins.
18,000 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a while.
So, all right, Blake, Trump, Putin,
East Wing.
And those are your choices.
Let's go with East Wing, please.
East Wing. Lenny, this is to you.
So apparently our president, who is a builder, is acting like most other builders. And
Careful.
I say that
I'm sitting right here.
I know. I understand that. Because you've never asked for forgiveness instead of permission. Actually, I know you're sort of like me. You try to do it within the boundaries before.
Yeah, I start there.
Right.
I start there, and then if it becomes too challenging, then come catch me.
Well, I've always, when I was doing construction or doing things of that nature or opening my restaurants, I always found it was easier to work with the municipality than get, surprised later. But there's a very strong philosophy of do what the hell you're going to do and then ask for forgiveness as a set of permission. And it seems this is what our president is doing because he's building his ballroom. And it wasn't, you really can't believe anything that comes out of that man's mouth, only in the fact that he says stuff and then completely ignores it and does whatever the hell he wants. Mm-hmm. He made, I won't say guarantees, but certainly assertions that, it's not going to be a big problem. We're just going to attach it to the building. It's going to be big. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be paid for by private funding. Well, now people are starting to ask the $25 million that's coming from Amazon, Apple, and there was a third business that was doing something with that.
Palantir.
Who?
Palantir.
That wasn't the one that I heard, but possibly. These $75 million, $25 million bucks a piece. What are they getting in exchange for that? A permanent, a chair with their name on it in the ballroom forever. Which, by the way, and the ballroom was originally, correct me if I'm wrong, was supposed to be 600 people. Mm-hmm. Now he's keeping it at 999 because it sounds so much better than saying 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. Dude, you just, your bulldozer went in. Now, we don't know because there's been no transparency, just a lot of palaver. There's been no
lot of what?
Palaver. There's a lot of lip slapping, a lot of talking about it without any backup or paperwork.
Blake, do you know what a palaver was?
Palaver?
No, I personally believe that's a Cornell word.
Yeah. Okay.
In other places, I don't think it's necessarily Cornell.
He Dennis Millered us.
Always.
We have officially been Dennis Millered. So
I'll carry on here.
I think there's a lot of palavering going on.
Palaver, right? Exactly. Yeah, palavering.
Keep palavering.
Palaver, exactly. I don't know, and apparently nobody has seen any of this stuff. That did he get any permits? And then the answer is he's the president. He can do whatever he wants. Well, you know what? He really can't because though he's a builder, he's not an engineer. Mm-mm. Now I am
you need a structural engineer. This building is
240 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know he knows what he's doing when it comes to building.
225, I think.
Yeah, okay. Exact. Yeah, all right. It was 17, whatever.
I think
17, late 1700s, yeah.
I think Adams moved in 1900 almost exactly.
1700. 1800. Pick 100
in 1800. I think he was living in a tavern in 1799.
Right, he was up above the
because Washington died in 1799 and he never saw
the building,
the completion. So
yet he was the one who said who said no to the much larger plans originally. He said, no, we're not building a palace. Mm-hmm. It's not for a king, he said. It's for a president. Mm-hmm. And he went on with that way. But, so Trump made assertions that it's going to be, 600 people because we can only fit X amount of people in here now. 600 people will be big and beautiful and fabulous, and it'll work. And that's not a bad number for an event. And it won't impact anything, and it's going to be big and beautiful, and somebody else is going to pay for it. Mm-hmm. Well, the bulldozer came in. Don't know if he, and I know you've had your battles with and go before Harb all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm very familiar with that because I was on an architectural review board for many years in Long Beach before I moved to the zoning board in Long Beach, before I moved to the city council in Long Beach, which was actually the official architectural review board and zoning board. The other boards were more consultants to it. And the final issue, if there's any controversy, would rest with the city council.
It's all you guys were advisory boards. City council was the one who made the decision.
Correct. Yeah,
that's the way it is everywhere.
Yeah,
it's
no. But the advisory board votes.
TDC's advisory, planning and zoning's advisory,
and that
Harb is advisory.
Right, and those advice go through unless there is.
I just hiccuped and burped at the same time.
A conflict.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to breathe this way
now. And this is just not this is just not a regular construction project. This is the freaking White House. It's a historic building. It's a federal building. It's a government building. Has anybody seen plans? I am sure somebody has because they've got to. Yeah, but where's the transparency? Just show people. That's the question. Mm-hmm. People are interested in this. It's a great idea, and nobody's arguing. Or certainly, I'm not arguing the fact that it's necessary to have a larger ballroom for state dinners. That's fine.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it's just more from 600 people to 999 people. And in the process, he's taking out the entire East Wing. Now, the East Wing was added on. The East Wing has been primarily the domain of...
Wait, I think he's gutting it. He's not removing it. Isn't he just gutting it? It's already gone.
Most of it.
Yeah. So right.
See if you can show me a picture of that, Blake.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
I'd like to see that. I thought he was just gutting it. I mean, I haven't seen any pictures, but the way I understood it, he was gutting it and redesigning it. So I felt like it was still there on the outside.
No. Oh, no.
Oh,
The
it's gone.
whole if you look at the pictures, the bulldozers just ripped the entire side of the building off.
Okay.
I mean, there's stairs that are dangling. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
And he's not stopping. Now, the interesting thing is, I believe the East Wing was built over a bunker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a presidential security bunker.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Probably still there.
Well, it'd be probably, I would think it would be fairly hardened, that it would be difficult to get that one out of
probably
there,
still
too.
there.
But, you know, where's the oversight on this? Who's the architect?
I mean, and who's saying that that's not happening? I mean, who's...
Nobody's seen it. To the best of my knowledge, every report I've heard or read in the last 2 or 3 days.
I got a little bit of a video here.
There you go, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best, so.
Oh, okay. That's just the bulldozer close. I'd rather see it further out if there is, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so they did knock it. That's not gutting it. That's knocking it
they
down.
tore it off of the building. So, he's doing whatever the hell he wants to that building. And the interesting thing is, except for the fact that somebody's...
I hate to stop you, but...
Oh, sorry.
There's sound going on. Okay, thank you.
Well, I have very low volume on, so I can see our show without the closed captioning, because sometimes that freezes and it gets in the way of when Blake's putting stuff up.
But
you were not hallucinating again.
My brain was like, am I the only one hearing that?
Yeah, well, I mean, boy, you really did some good acid today, didn't you? You're doing all sorts of stuff, man. I told you to share that stuff.
Yeah.
But, it's a historic building.
Mm-hmm.
And, in all honesty, people are going to go ballistic if when he finishes this, there's a big gold trump on top of it.
Yeah.
And he's going to be hard-pressed not to do that, because I don't know if he can help himself. But my point being is, he's coming in here and he's doing this all because he wants to and by force of will. So I'm going to hope there will be restraint from the next president who comes in, who's going to say, you know what, I'm going to turn that into 3 bowling alleys, because, it seems to be presidential prerogative.
It is.
Yeah.
So,
it is.
why would you want to tear something down if it's
Eisenhower
built
put
properly?
the putting green in.
Yeah, and the bowling alley was a swimming pool.
Yeah.
So all those things. But, I mean, a lot of people don't realize the original design of the White House was 5 times bigger.
Well, and Washington said no.
Okay, it wasn't Washington. They ran out of marble.
Originally, Washington said, this is too big and cut it back.
But they ran out of marble.
Okay.
The marble that they used was so hard to mine that they reduced it. They reduced it tremendously because there was no way to mine it. I'm not sure where the Washington said no was, but on the tour of the White House, which they give you, that's when they said the marble to build it out eliminated the size. So that was on my White House, because sometimes I pay attention.
There you go.
All right, but okay, Lenny, though, so speak about Trump and construction. What's your thoughts about the Arc de Trump? That's
equally as ridiculous.
What is that?
He wants to put that between the Lincoln Memorial and Arlington Cemetery. It's been talked about for years. I don't think he was the first.
Well, those arcs are put in for victories over something.
Yes.
The Arc de Triomphe was, and I don't necessarily know. Well, according to him, he's ended everything.
The one in Rome was
surviving Butler.
The Triumph, Triumphant Arc as well.
Yeah.
For,
So the arcs are for a victory over something. So what would that arc represent? A victory over what?
Immigration?
I don't know.
And I don't necessarily know. And I think the plans for that arch predate Donald Trump. I don't think he's the one who started the genesis of this. I'm not positive of that. But I think there have been plans for this for a while. And it might go back just to his first term. But again, we're in a shutdown.
Well, hopefully
you're saving money everywhere.
It's a little bigger than that one.
Well, that would be perfect. Put that right back in the Lincoln Memorial. You'll never see it. Actually, you can put him on Abe's lap or his knee. We're still in a government shutdown. What day is this, by the way, sir?
This is day 22.
Thank you.
You're at 21. I'm not out, because I still have until 23.
Before he gets closer to me?
Before it gets closer to you.
Okay.
At 24, then you're in.
Okay, and I have no confidence for either of us at this point.
I have one more day, and it's not looking good. Blake and Amanda look like they're the front runners.
Right.
I am by far the dark horse.
Right.
So,
But
oh, this just in. They ended it.
What?
he just freaked out half of our audience.
Yeah.
So much for that thought was just.
No, you were talking about
right. All right. So we're in a shutdown. They can't agree on anything. In theory, it's private donations, and even the most recent story is Donald's going into his pocket for some of the money for the ballroom, which would be wonderful. But again, when I see the canceled check, I'll believe it.
Yeah, I don't think that's questionable. I mean, I don't think.
No, he's going to raise the money from other people. He's already got 75 of it.
I don't think he has a problem stroking that check, because he does that to get all that other money coming in. Where, well, look at this guy, he's so nice, he paid for that himself.
Yeah, well,
and then he gets it back tenfold from the MAGA group.
Right.
So, I don't have.
Well, again,
I have no doubts that he's not afraid to stroke that check for the benefit later.
And as I said, I will believe it when I see the canceled check. But now, what was originally a $200 million project for a 600-person ballroom attached to the East Wing is now up to $250 million. And there's no chance, now that they've taken the entire East Wing down and added another 400 some odd seats to that it's going to be $250 million.
Well,
and find me any construction project, and you would know this better than I, that hasn't gone over budget.
yeah.
No, not recently.
Well,
not
well,
recently.
And is he going to exempt the builder's construction and the construction materials from his tariffs, which are also going to add to the expense of this?
He better be using American made.
Damn straight.
So
Everything in that.
I hate to tell you this, but there's no tariffs on American made.
Well, then if that's fine, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You know. And is he going to use union labor?
Well, probably when required, yes.
Okay.
probably a lot of subcontractors.
I mean, you lost me on that argument.
Why?
Because I'm not a union guy.
Because the unions go, in theory, they used to go Democratic. So I could see him spiting the unions just because of that.
I'm not a union guy.
Okay.
I mean, I never have been a union guy. I want to defend my own right to work, and if I'm a boss, which I have been, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate. I've been a boss most of my life.
So you're not a fan of collective bargaining?
I'm not. I want to have a conversation with the people that are working for me, and anybody who's out there that's ever worked with me. They don't work for me, they work with me. I don't think they'll tell you that they would want a union either.
Well, you're kind of a unicorn to begin with, first of all, and second of all, so you have an organization of 200 people and you want to have 200 separate salary conversations instead of collective bargaining?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's right. How do
you get anything done during the day?
I think it's right. People ask me all that all the time, but if you treat them right from the beginning, you only have to have 3 or 4 conversations when you have 300 employees if you're treating them right from the beginning.
Right. And again, as I say, you're a unicorn in that.
It has way less to do with the salary than it does to how you're treating people. And I can tell you from experience, because a lot of my people work for a lot less to have a comfort level and to be happy where they're at. And salary was probably 3rd or 4th on their list of what they wanted out of the job.
Okay.
Salary was very, very.
How long ago was this?
This was. I mean, I still am a boss today.
Right.
And it's more about how you make people feel. I mean, I don't pay you guys shit, and you keep showing up.
Yeah, and I'm still and I need to renegotiate. I need to renegotiate my contract. As a matter of fact,
you guys keep showing up.
I can't afford my water.
Yeah, but I'll get you water.
Thank you very much.
Demand 1 taken care of.
See how easy that was?
Yeah.
Wait, where do we get down to brass tacks?
But I mean, honestly, salary. I mean, and studies will show this. Salary is normally not the number one motivation for people working.
Well, and I wonder when that was done, because I think that's changing over time because costs are going up. I think benefits are probably the most important thing now. Retirement and medical benefits are probably more.
Not with the younger crowd. Not with the younger crowd at all.
Crowd's never going to collect anything. They're never going to have any money in Social Security.
They don't care. They don't care about what's down the road. They care about the life experience that's happening right now. And I'll tell you this: I'm a little.
But they're going to wake up one of these days.
No, I'm a little jealous of the younger crowd. I'm a little jealous of the millennials and the zillennials, because they're more worried about being happy right now. They're not attached to a job. Like, they'll work 3 or 4 years at one job, and go to the next.
Right.
They're not attached to a career like, you know, I was attached to my career for 25 years. And now people don't know what to call me. So just don't call me late to dinner.
There you go.
But I mean, you know, our generation, you were a chef.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Parks and Recreation director.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we were.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore in today's workforce.
Right. But I wonder if there's going to come a reckoning for these kids as they get older, as they try to, I mean, I don't know any of them. I mean, first of all, they've got a very bad taste for loans in their mouth because of the whole student loan debacle. If any of these poor kids have student loans, some of them could be crushing. And I think that system has really got to be overhauled or done away with, because, you know, the crushing debt that people come out of higher education with is just, it's ridiculous how
First
big
off,
this
we
is.
got to get away from everybody going to college. Not everybody is suited for college.
Correct.
And, you know, we came out, we said, oh, you got to go to college. You got to go to college. You got to go to college. And everyone went to college. And now, you know, you make more as a waiter in St. Augustine than you do in that professional side that you went to college on. So you can't give up your college job to go work at another job because you were making way more in less hours.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to escape a bartender job.
Very much. Cash in your pocket, or a waiter job, no doubt about it.
In a tourist town.
Right.
It's hard to escape it. I mean, there's brilliant people that are bartenders. There's nothing wrong with being a bartender.
Not at all. And you make good money in a good bar.
You make great money. There's nothing wrong with being a bartender or being a waiter or a waitress.
Social situation. You just have to watch out for the consumption problem.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, being in that industry, which you were a part of and lived it. I mean, there's lifers in there that could have been physicists, that could have been life instructors, that could have been lawyers, that could have been all these other things, and they chose not to take the risk and stayed in that job.
It looks like, I mean, some of them, it would seem, are smart enough to put some money away, savings, investments, things of that nature. And I have a very good friend of mine, and we talk investment strategy from time to time, who was a bartender for years, and that was his job. And he did very, very, very well at it. But he also was smart enough to know that he's got to save, he's got to put stuff away. He paid for his own medical insurance until he hit Social Security, Medicare. And, you know, he took care of his future. I'm hoping that a lot of the gig employees today are doing that, because if not, there's going to come a reckoning, and they're going to have a problem if they don't have medical insurance, because it's going to take them a while before they can get to Medicare. Hopefully they're not going to have to go on Medicaid, which means we're paying for them.
Yeah.
And, you know, when it comes to retirement or pension, you know, they might inherit their parents' house because, you know, when they get to be 65, the likelihood that their parents are still going to be alive is slim. So they might not have their parents' basement to live in.
Another lie we were told at 30. When you were 30, you're now 67, correct?
Yep.
You're 67. We're 9 years apart. We were told at 30, there won't be any Social Security left.
Right. They keep moving that number, but it's getting closer to us.
We were told there would be no Medicare.
Yeah,
it's all going to be gone.
Yeah.
Every politician used that as an attack on the other one. Even if they tried to tweak it one way or another, it was an attack on Social Security. Either the Republicans used it against the Democrats, or the Democrats used it. It always switched back and forth on who was in there. And if anybody whispered any tweaking to either one of those, the other side went crazy.
Well, it's always called the third rail of politics, and Social Security and Medicare.
So,
and still they're saber rattling about Medicare.
Yeah,
and the presumption is, well, the latest standards is Social Security's got into the early 2030s. Is there's enough in the trust fund for that? So, you know, and we're not getting younger. I mean, we're not. You know, people are living longer.
No one's getting younger.
Right.
Yeah.
Would that we could there.
I looked it up.
Benjamin Button.
Since we had this conversation, we're already older.
Right.
So,
but you know, but people are living longer. There's greater demands on Social Security, and the gig working environment. The youth of America who aren't working in traditional jobs and aren't necessarily having their FICA come out, there's not enough money going in to the Social Security Trust Fund, you know, which is a giant Ponzi scheme to begin with.
Here's the ridiculous part. If you research the numbers, because I thought that exact same thing. Kids are earning actually more the way they're working now than staying with a career the way we did it, because they're moving in a progressive position instead of getting. When I was with the county, it was 3% every year, 3%,
Raises.
3% raise.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a progressive. It was the tortoise and the hare.
Right. It
These
barely
kids-
kept up with.
These kids will work 2 years, 3 years at a job. They'll move to the next level, get paid higher to do the exact same thing. They'll do that for another 2 or 3 years. They'll jump up again, and they're jumping at a higher percentage than we ever did.
Now, those aren't the gig employees. Those aren't DoorDash, Uber drivers, or things like that. Those are people in the tech industry. Those are coders or, game designers or things of that nature, social media, things of that nature. But I don't necessarily know how many people are doing that.
Well, I mean,
there's more people in the gig industry that are driving for DoorDash, Uber, and things of that nature than are necessarily getting these tech jobs.
It's not necessarily true, because a lot of times these gig employees, that's a secondary income. There are some that use it as a primary, but a high percentage,
Okay.
a high percentage, are using that as a secondary income, like especially DoorDash and the ones that you just mentioned.
Yeah, Uber.
Those are
Lyft.
secondary income, so it's actually an added income, which they do get a 1099 on.
Right. So they're paying their own taxes.
So they're paying their own taxes. They're covering all that stuff. But just like if Blake does Ubering, that's his secondary income, and that's very, very common for that age bracket.
Okay. And it begs the question then, if they're doing so well, jumping to job to job to job, and they're moving up and getting a higher salary the next time and a higher salary the next time, they're doing this because they're bored, or they're doing this because they need the money?
Because they have the ability to.
It's because I believe they probably need the money.
They have the ability to. And yes, you always need the money. I can tell you this. I was dirt poor. And every time I got richer, I got poorer. All right? And what I mean is my spending habits change and go along with that. But my spending habits need to change to keep the economy in a good position. I had more in the bank 10 years ago than I do right now, and I would say 5 years ago. 10 years ago, I was doing pretty good.
Right.
I was doing all right.
Then you bought a media station, silly man.
Then I bought this.
Right.
But
Thank you.
I'm telling you right now.
Thank you, Pete.
Right. There you go, Blake. Yeah. Yep.
But it's you always need more. I don't think I'm that much different than everyone else. I see an opportunity. I was like, okay, I can make money doing that. I'm going to do that. And I know I have a different skill set and a different mindset than a lot of people. But if you have the hustle in you, you have the hustle in you.
Right, but there's
if you don't,
also
if you're
a level
stuck in the 9 to 5, you're a 9 to 5er.
Yeah, but neither of that. But there's a level of satisfaction. I've got what I need. I'm comfortable. I've got security. I've got money in the bank. I'm making a good salary. I can enjoy my life, and I don't have to add another 3 hours a day in a car to pick up an extra $100.
Yeah.
Because I would dispute the fact that they're taking the second thing on because the opportunity is there. I think they're doing it because they need to make ends meet.
Well, I mean, we have Blake right here in our studio.
Okay.
Blake is more of an opportunity person than he is. He's got to have it. He doesn't have a lot of bills, but he balances himself very well. And if he says, "Oh, there's a concert tonight, I can make an easy 150," he goes and does it.
Okay.
He does trivia. He goes and does it. I mean, he
almost has as many jobs as you.
It's an opportunity, which
right?
Which I appreciate. But it has more to do with opportunity than necessity, in my opinion.
I think for some people, but I think for some people, it's the way to make ends meet.
Yeah, and that's part of life.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that too. I mean, and when people complain of, "Oh, I don't make enough money," then get another job.
Well, there you go.
Get another job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I always had to do.
Yeah.
So, all right, Bollocks Bets / Wager Wire. So, World Series. Is anyone beating the Dodgers? So we're down to the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. I'm going to make this prediction.
Do we have to root for Canada if we want to beat the Dodgers?
I am not rooting for Canada. Blue Jays and the Dodgers.
Hey,
I'm going to say A team wearing blue and white
Way to go out on a
will
limb.
win.
Way to go out on a limb.
Will win the World Series. So, question number one that I have: who's going to be the rise up superstar if they're not already rised up of this World Series?
You know, Freeman was relatively quiet in the playoffs for him. The bottom half of the Dodgers order did as much, if not more, than the top half of the Dodgers order, not counting the Shohei Ohtani masterpiece of that game. There's a little bit more spread outness, you know, in Toronto. But spread outness, that's not a real word, but I use it. It's not a word. But I use it anyway.
It's not a word, but we all completely understood that.
Thank you very much. You know,
You weren't
I'm not
cavaliering on that one.
No, I wasn't even palavering.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure about the Toronto pitching.
Mm-hmm.
If the two Hernandez's got look, and Andy Paez, Pages, that one always cracks me up. You know, I keep calling him Pages, and it's Paez.
Mm-hmm.
Was cold through the series. I know because I try to keep betting him to get a hit.
Yeah.
Which is how I knew the bottom half of the order did as well as the top half of the order most of the games. Muncy was relatively quiet. Freeman for himself was quiet. But, you know, I think they're going to explode at some point in time because you can't keep those guys down that long. It's going to be
the top three of their order, all Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I find it, and their pitching staff's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They are the best team money can buy.
Mm-hmm.
If Toronto beats them, I have to take it back to how good the Oakland A's were when the Reds swept them.
Okay.
In 1990. The Oakland A's were stacked.
Oh, yeah.
There was no way.
And then they all became Yankees.
No way the Reds were beating them, and the Reds swept them in 4.
So let me ask you a question that has nothing to do with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Should Toronto win?
Yeah.
Donald Trump inviting them to the White House?
No. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. No way in hell. Because the biggest piece of evidence goes to 2019 when the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship. The leading star was Kawhi Leonard, American from San Diego State. They didn't go to the White House.
Yeah, that's not.
Was
not their country.
Was Vince Carter on that team?
No,
2019. No,
he was.
I don't know. It's basketball. You know, I don't know basketball.
He was very much retired.
No, actually, no. 2019. He was in his second to last season.
How old was he? Goodness gracious.
Like 42.
I saw. He played against.
And he wasn't on that Toronto team.
He was. I believe he was on the Hawks at the time.
Okay. Because I seem to remember somebody said, "Yeah, I'm not going."
He played against our St. Augustine High School travel team, a 15-year-old team that I had, and he dunked on an inbound play. We were only down by 4 at halftime. That happened about 1 minute into the second half, and we ended up losing by 40. Just broke the hearts of my entire, because I thought the kid threw it away, and it was an alley-oop to Vince, who slammed it down over top of my best athlete, who basically just was like, "What just happened?"
Right. Who taught that man to fly?
Yeah, and we're talking. I mean, my guy could dunk too, but it was just an amazing athletic feat for a 15-year-old. Yeah. So, no, I don't think he invites him.
No,
I don't think if Toronto wins, he invites him. So, but.
Nor is it necessarily warranted. I'm just curious because, you know, why not?
Yeah. It's not their country.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe the president of Canada will invite him.
Oh, the prime minister.
Prime minister.
Yeah, whatever.
Jeez.
They're gonna be a state soon.
Do I need a passport to get into your own little world, or can I just go back and forth?
I learned it by watching you.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad I'm rubbing off on you in some fashion.
So what are your Blake? Now you had the Mariners upsetting the Dodgers. Are you sticking with Toronto, or are you switching over to the Dodgers?
I have no hope and optimism anymore for this world. I'm going to go with Dodgers in 5.
We've broken his spirit.
I got Dodgers in 5. You got Dodgers in 6.
Okay.
That's what our predictions were.
I'll stay with that.
You're staying with those 6.
Why not?
Okay, I'm staying with Dodgers in 5.
I mean, it could be a 4-game sweep, but who the hell knows? But they open in Toronto, by the way. First two are in Toronto.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I don't know if you even know who this player is, and I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly. Otani being the MVP.
You're close.
Am I close?
You're close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tall guy.
Yeah.
Tall Japanese guy. That's what everyone.
He's got a great posture at the plate, by the way. He's got a great posture at the plate. It's scary.
He's not human.
It's scary.
He's not human.
You know?
I don't know if there was a press conference with Coach Prime.
Okay.
And they were telling him what Otani did, and he's like, he's not human.
Right.
He's just not human. He's like, people don't do that.
Right.
So.
And you know what? And he's really not a showboat at all.
No.
But I will tell you, when his ball went over the roof of Chavez Ravine and out of the stadium, he stood and admired that one for a little bit. And you know what? More power to him.
Yeah, I've only hit a couple balls where I knew were absolute gone, like in my entire career, where I knew were gone, and 2 of the 4 times where I knew I hit a home run, because everything else I had the roof or the squeaked over the fence, and these 2 I knew were absolutely gone, and 2 of the 4 times that this happened, I let off, so I didn't get no one got intentionally walked in front of me to get to me.
Okay, well that's encouraging.
But I mean, because you got your number 9 hitter,
right,
and you're the leadoff guy, so you don't intentionally walk the number 9 or in softball the number 10 hitter,
right,
to get to your leadoff hitter. So it was very rare that happened, and 2 of the 4 times, they loaded the bases, and I hit grand slams with those. One of them was in a national championship game.
Nice,
which was really fun. I mean, we were already winning the game, but it was like they needed to get out of the inning, and when I hit it, it was in Chattanooga. Altitude is a little higher there.
Okay.
So as Florida boys, when we go to altitude, it's a lot of fun. So, who are you texting right now?
Barbara Jean and I are having a conversation.
Okay, we're having a show here.
Have I missed a beat?
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have, Lenny.
Yes, you have.
Barbara Jean, you're getting me in trouble. I'm sorry. We'll talk later.
I'm looking for confirmation here, and you're just.
Well, because I would have walked you. I would have thrown at that point. At this point, I'm going to throw at you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna brush you back.
No, that happened a lot too.
Knock you down.
That happened a lot too. All right,
get some dirt on your uniform. Make you look like you played.
Here we go. I have this list.
Sorry, by the way, and Bobby is taking, just to be argumentative, Bobby is taking Toronto in 7.
Toronto in 7.
Yeah.
All right.
I was doing that too.
Good luck. It could happen.
She'll work.
All right. Here we go. I have the most losses of an NFL team since 2000. All right. And they have them in different tiers.
2000.
Since
the last
2000.
25 years.
All right. Do you want to take a guess who has the most losses at 264 losses, which is ranked a number 1? Any guesses?
So I'll go with Houston, because have they been around for 25 years in this iteration?
I think they have.
Okay.
All right. Blake, who do you have?
So the question again was just
most losses since 2000.
Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns are at
good point.
264. Blake, have you already looked this up?
No, because I am an AFC North fan. I should know about the Orange Sucks.
All right, at 251, who do you think is number 2?
Ooh, 251.
By the way, the Houston,
Yeah.
they're at 209.
They're not as bad as I thought they were.
No, they're
Just recently. Okay.
They're at 209.
New York Jets.
That was where I was going to go next.
All right. The Jets are at 231. There are 4 teams ahead of them.
Worse than that.
4 teams that have more losses than the Jets since 2000.
Well, you had Peyton there. You had Eli there.
A lot of
Was-
silence
wasn't
coming out of
the
the room,
Patriots.
guys. Think out loud.
I know we got some of their clothes, but unfortunately, I'm got to say it. Is it the Jaguars?
Jaguars are at 251.
Okay.
All right,
Is
Blake,
that
stop.
the first
Get
one?
off your computer. All
Is
right?
that the first one?
That is behind the Browns. So that's
there's-
number one. That's number one at 251.
Well,
Next one
Jags.
is at 244. There's a 243 and a 232 ahead of the Jets. Directly behind the Jets
How about
are
the Saints?
Cardinals and the Panthers. Now the Saints are
'Cause we
actually
had Drew Brees in there for a while.
yeah, and that's what I was going to say. The Saints had Drew Brees, and they're actually not until tier 4
Tier 4.
because of the
Good job,
Brees,
Drew.
the
Okay.
Drew Brees era.
Um,
I'm going to sneeze while you guys are thinking.
you do that. Okay. How about the Raiders? There you go. God bless you.
Raiders there's one more between the Jaguars and the Raiders, but the Raiders are worse than the Jets at 243.
What about the Lions?
Lions are at 244.
Okay.
All right. The only team you guys are missing are the Redskins / Commanders, whatever they're going to be Redskins the rest of my life. All right. Blake,
Yes.
your team is on the bottom tier. They have the second fewest
Losses.
losses.
Okay.
Who do you think has the fewest losses since 2000?
The New England Patriots.
Without a doubt. They're
New England.
at 134. The Steelers are almost an entire season behind them at 146, and Green Bay's at 154.
Yeah, but with his current Steelers coach, he's never had a losing season.
Correct.
So,
Correct. So he's
and
making.
I think the coaches before him haven't had too many losing seasons either.
No, that franchise.
That was
is
Chuck Nolan. What's
yeah.
his face?
Yeah. The guy with the cower.
Bill Cowher. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
We
Three Hall of Fame coaches in a row.
Right. Bang, bang, bang.
All right. And I know what everyone's saying. Where are the Dolphins?
Yeah. Bobby was asking that. He was
The
putting them right up
Dolphins
there.
are at 208. They're considered in the second tier, and Tampa Bay is at 215.
Where are the Giants?
The Giants are at 217.
Okay.
So they're considered in tier 2 of losers.
And what about the Vikings? Sorry, Barbara Jean.
Vikings are considered in tier 3,
Okay.
about middle of the pack at 188. So on the second to last tier, you have Baltimore, Eagles, Colts. And, I mean, you can go through the quarterbacks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, I was going to say the
in
Colts,
your-
but they had Peyton Manning for a while.
in your head as
Right.
as I'm saying these. Kansas City, the Seahawks, and you already said the Saints.
Right.
So those are the top teams. And the Cowboys, even though they can win in the series, if this was playoff teams, they'd be screwed.
Yeah.
So I found that an interesting one. And then the other one is top 100 athletes of all time. The first baseball player is not mentioned until number 15, and he was a two-sport athlete.
So that's going to be either Babe Ruth or Deion Sanders.
Two-sport athlete.
Babe Ruth was only baseball. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Deion Sanders.
It was actually Bo Jackson.
Oh, I keep forgetting about Bo because Bo knows, by the way.
Yeah. So and here's where I
His
know
career just didn't go as long.
this is a little bit of a tainted list.
Now, was that, is it list amateurs and pros, all sports,
It's all sports.
and amateurs and pros, like
Yeah.
Olympic athletes as well?
Yeah, so they have
Okay.
Jim Thorpe as number 20.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay, so they have Jim Thorpe as number 20. I'm going to run down the top 10. They got Michael Jordan as number 1, Serena Williams number 2, Muhammad
Interesting.
Ali number 3.
Okay.
I love Muhammad Ali, but Muhammad Ali lost 6 fights.
Well, you're harsh.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I love the guy, and I think what he did for sports
Right.
was amazing, and his impact on sports was amazing, but I can't put him in number 3. Usain Bolt. He runs
He's
fast.
Right. He's fast.
He runs fast.
What about somebody like Rafer Johnson?
Lionel Richie is 5, or Messi.
Lionel
Lionel
Richie.
Richie.
What the?
He was dancing on a ceiling.
There you go.
That's hard to do. You got to be athletic.
All right.
Tiger Woods is 6.
All right. We got one more minute. We got
Roger Federer is 7. Tom Brady is 8. Michael Phelps is 9. And then they have Pele as 10 and LeBron James as 11, just to throw him in there. So Throw out a name, Blake, and I'll see if I can find him.
Yeah, what about Rayford Johnson or before he became Caitlyn, Bruce Jenner? What about some decathletes?
No.
Let's go with.
I mean, those are multi-sport guys that were excelling.
Where's Wayne Gretzky?
Wayne Gretzky is 17, right behind Martina Navratilova and before Babe Ruth.
Where's Hank Aaron?
Simone Biles is number 19. Hank Aaron, they have well down the list. Hold on, let me see if I can find him even.
Chuck Connors.
They have
Bobby. Bobby's on top of it.
they got Barry Bonds ahead of Hank Aaron, and they got Jackie Robinson ahead of Hank Aaron. I can't find Hank Aaron on here.
Okay, well, that's a shame.
The Shohei Ohtani they have at number 68, but he should move up that list.
I would think.
So, here you go. You got Joe Louis, who only lost one fight. He's ranked 54th, and Muhammad Ali's ranked 3rd. So,
yeah.
So I found it to be an interesting list.
Got any jockeys on there? Where's Eddie Arcaro or Willie Shoemaker?
I didn't see any of those guys.
What about AJ Foyt or Bobby Allison or Dale Earnhardt?
We got Lewis Hamilton in here at 91.
What about Verstappen?
Verstappen did not make the list.
Really?
They have Kelly Slater, who's won probably more national championships in their particular sport than anyone else probably on this list. They have him ranked as number 40. So
see the size of that guy's feet. I saw him. We did a surf tournament in Long Beach, which was a whole big ball of wax. But I watched him throw a perfect 10 run on a wave that was just. You stood there and you're going. I mean, we're talking flipping the board, doing like the board's doing a 360, and he's landing and he comes into the shore with it. It was amazing to watch.
No, he to me is talking about the GOAT of goats. He's by far the GOAT of his sport.
Absolutely. And you know what? And what a humanitarian, too, because he also then donated money for a children's playground that had been destroyed by a storm.
Yeah.
So he was a good guy all around.
This list is very heavily Hank Aaron was 34th. I just found it.
Oh, fine. I feel much better about him.
Yeah, Hank Aaron was 34th. It was very heavily on the basketball side. Michael Schumacher was
Willie Shoemaker?
Michael Schumacher, Formula One driver.
Okay.
The 7-time Formula One champion before.
Yeah, he was ranked 21. So
what about Mario Andretti? Obviously below that.
Not seeing him.
Huh.
So all right. So I found it very interesting list. We are way over on time, and we got to get to trivia. So I'm sorry, Blake tried to stop me. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, we got one more day.
We got one more day. I got a half a day tomorrow on Bollock. So I'm gonna
go to a fancy party.
Get out of here for the Flagler thing.
Okay.
But we appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.